Hi, I'm Catharyn Baird, CEO of Ethics Game, and really privileged and pleased to be with you today. I've been asked about the scandals that go on at the Air Force Academy and other military institutions around holding each other accountable for infractions of the honor code and whether or not we should just get rid of honor codes. I'm the wife of an Air Force officer, so I've been around the Air Force for a really long time. And what I know is that the kind of pressures those young cadets have from 18 to 22 are very high, and they have to figure out how they're going to navigate a complex community. It is not easy. I did a ethics bowl, and it was kids from the 5 military academies. And one of their questions was, should honor codes be abolished or upheld? And the whole notion of accountability with each other is a really difficult one to do, especially if you're 18 to 22 and you haven't figured out your own ethical code yet, you haven't figured out what the boundaries are. And again, you don't have enough time to study. You're studying stuff that is difficult for you to retain, and your time demands are so high. And so I think that that is an institution that is set up for failure. Now, I know that what they're trying to do is to make sure that you graduate officers who will follow the rules as opposed to expedience. And of course, currently, when you have a chain of command where that is not necessarily honored, it becomes an even more interesting conversation to have at the academies, where the basic rule is we're going to uphold the Constitution, we will not follow an illegal action or order, and we have to figure out what we're going to do. So the 18 to 22-year-olds in these academies are given the strict honor code, not enough time, and then no guidance in terms of how do you hold each other accountable. What are the stages of accountability? And so you wind up then with these things that make the headlines. It's by the grace of God, the other academies and universities haven't had that. The Air Force Academy is working with some level of transparency, and it happens in all the institutions. Then what you ask is, okay, where do we in the other organizations that we live in see that same lack of accountability? Where is it that we see a reluctance to hold each other accountable? Where is it that we see retribution if in fact we move into whistleblowing? And because the penalty for that in our community is so high, we are as culpable as those Air Force kids are in terms of what they did in our everyday life. They see the adults in the room doing the same thing. They've watched the news. They've read the Harvard Business Review articles about what ethics is and is not. They're deeply conflicted, operating under a set of rules that does not apply anywhere else, and scandals are going to happen.